Happy New Year, y'all. Boy, it has been a minute since I've been on. You know, I did an Instagram live earlier today after I got done working on the motorhome. But it has been a while since I've been here. I think the last stream we did was a big group chat from the Discord, which is awesome. Apologies to the Discord crew. I've been a little quiet lately. There's reasons. I won't go into that. Shared it with one of y'all, but I'm gonna find my way back because I need to. I miss everybody in that group. So, what's up, y'all? We got Rusty, TSG, Rob, Justin. How's that Space Invader doing, Justin? Robert, Peter, Lynn, Luis, Algae Warrior. It's been a minute. Josh. All right. What do we want to talk about? We want to talk about this. How do they do it? How do they do it on Instagram? It's like paid endorsement, whatever. This is my. I'm just having a little touch of lime with a little bit of Harris Teeter salsa. Yeah. We could also talk about a light. If you win, a pick video is requested. What are you talking about? What's up, Bert? What's up, Rob? I suppose we could do the usual Instagram catch-up. You see all the UV talk lately? Shocker. Now UV is a topic. Now all of a sudden everybody cares about UV. Like real UV. And you got people getting shocked. They're like, what? But Ecotech's app says I have UV. People, please. Come on. Broke Reef Man. Space Invader's doing well. That's good to hear, dude. That thing was nice and fluffy. Nate, that's a frag, right? There's a frag. When you got to throw it in a bucket and hand it back to a brother, that's what I'm talking about. Justin Wagner here. I was babysitting his Space Invader. Did it a couple times, but babysitting the Space Invader while he got his tank set up and got everything chill and got his fish all happy. And then, poof, it was gone. I think it looked a little different when it left, but I kept the bucket that it came in and it still fit, so that was pretty cool. I'm glad it's doing well. Let's do this. Let's do a little bit of catch up first. This is how I take the majority of my pictures. No lie. I take these reefing glasses that I got for free, and I hold the phone up to them, and I take a picture. So any like wide angle shots you've seen of the frag tank, that's a frag tank right there. That's how I do it. What do I think about the OR3 UV? I haven't used it. Yeah, we're talking about marketing UV versus real UV. I haven't used the OR3's UV. I don't know the nanometer of that light. What I do know is that it ships with lenses. And if it's like Reef Breeders, same thing. If it's real UV, those cheesy... Hold on. Please hold. All those bars kind of basically use the same damn thing. Thanks, Lynn. They use these lenses, right? This is the same. This is a 120 degree lens. What's up?
Are you streaming?
Yeah, huh? Okay.
No school tomorrow.
Really? Already? Huh. So it's like 60 degrees here, and there's a snowstorm coming, we hear. And first it was like no snow, and now it's like 4 to 8 inches, and now there's no school. But anyway, these are the lenses that may or may not be inside those lights. I know this is what's in Reef Breeders, what's in the AliExpress bars, and I think I'll have to take apart my Orphic now, my OR2, just to see. Same kind of lens. And if this is over top of a UV diode, it'll absolutely turn dark and block any UV that's coming out of that light. This is out of the guts of the Viper Spectra. So, Bird, I'll take a look. I have an opinion. It's not rooted in any sort of data, but I'll see what I can see. And if I can't confirm, I'll buy one, and we'll figure it out from there. How about that? That way, 400 is the lowest. That's not UV. Yeah. So that if the peak is a 400 nanometer diode, like the Reef Uno, which is 5 less than the Neptune Sky, I mean, that's not UV. That's just violet. It'll probably still darken the lenses, though. Yeah. So, yeah, that's how I take pictures. Don't count out those reefing glasses. Those things work pretty well. So, my temp probe on my Apex, that's a year and a half old, broke. Is that a thing? Does that happen? Because I took the same Apex downstairs and plugged it in the basement, and it read temperature. This is the one that had the little USB dongle that I needed to replace to make it work. And now the temp probe's broken. Display. Actually, this is Justin's Space Invader right here. Just this part of it. Oh, this is the one that I originally got from Moki. And then I broke off 2 of these, so I have freebies for somebody if they want them. Force Fire Dig. I'll get those mounted up for locals. So well, really, this isn't anything but really for me, because I kind of know what my towel smells like after it dries out. But if it smells funky, then I know something's going on in the tank. So if I get the towel that hangs by the tank, if I get that super soaked because my arms are in the tank and I'm drying off my hands or whatever, and then a couple days later it smells super funk, then I know something's going on in the tank. Just a little silly thing that I pay attention to. What's up, Chris? How you been? Just I don't know. It's just a random data point that I pay attention to, just in case. Oh, yeah. So this one, this is almost worth reading. Let me read this. This is the retail price increase of the XR30 at Bulk Reef Supply. This is the price increase of the XR30 from at Bulk Reef Supply. So retail is up 6% in 2021, and wholesale, right? Because BRS sells to wholesale buyers. The wholesale price went up 14%. That means at the same retail price, the LFS, who's buying wholesale from Bulk Reef Supply, is paying 14% more than they did before, which means they're making less money at the LFS. So there's this, right? There's this debate. There's chatter occasionally about how Bulk Reef Supply even sent out mailers to support your local LFS. But then they charge the LFS more and don't allow them to make what they were making previously. That's not cool. That Milka Stylo. I don't know where I got that. I really don't. It is so freaking dense. You can't cut it with bone cutters. That one needs the diamond disc on the Dremel. But that thing's pretty. That's cool. I gave Moki a piece of that. Has anyone run the AliExpress bars without lenses? Nope. If you're going to do that, I think you should maybe add a little reflector thingy in there, kind of like how Reef Brights do it. Rusty, what are you looking to do with the LE bar? Why would you pop the lenses? Because you can just raise it up, right? Monties, colors, shrooms, freaking Frag tank's a mess. Actually, all these Monties have gotten way, way, way too big. Ooh, what's this one? Is using a bacterial product like Microbacter Clean a good option to use to bring nutrients down if used? So what I would do, Callie, is I would get an Aqua Biomics test. I've been talking about them a lot lately. I'd go get one of their tests. I would pay attention to your nutrients and maybe try to determine what's making them be what they are. Hi, Mom. I don't know that I would use the bacteria specifically to address a nutrient issue, but what I would do is do an Aqua Biomics test, get the results back, see what they look like, and then I don't know what you do from there. You could try it. If you then try Microbacter Clean or Microbacter 7, one of those, and if you use them for a month, do another Aqua Biomics test after I need to buy those. Hi, Dad. Do another test and see what the bacteria did to your tank. Right? That's one of those things. They always talk, the hobby in general says don't dose anything you can't test. All of us have been dosing bacterial products, hoping and whatevering that these are the right things to do. Now we can test, and I think that's important. Would I run the LEE bars with the Unos? Absolutely, and I wouldn't change the LEE bars, Josh. The Unos are pretty powerful, but they're really low in the spectrum, right? Their peak is 326 or something like that. It's super low. So what I would do is buy the LEE bars and run them 470 only. And that would complement the Unos pretty well. That would... Actually, Rob, you still running your Kessels with your Unos? It would almost be like that. Almost. Any insider info on when the Ion Director will be back in stock? No, but I have one. What? Just keep watching, Justin. Hit me up. I haven't set it up yet, and I haven't talked much about it, but I have one in the basement. And I am looking forward to playing with that. I haven't figured out where I want to install it, which is why it's not running yet. That, and I did a whole lot of other stuff like this week, so I didn't get to play too much. I don't have crazy high nutrients. 12. I would leave those. I wouldn't do anything about it. Callie, I wouldn't do anything with those. I would pay attention to that 0.16. You could bring that down with a couple of different products. I don't know that I would address that with bacteria, though. You could try it, but just make sure you test before you do it. I don't know. Consider testing. It's not like it's a necessity, but consider testing before you dose. What is that noise in my headset? Something on my computer is making noise, and I didn't... Could you hear it? It went... bloop. They got my sample, hoping to see my results soon. Rob, let me know if you want another one. I haven't made that group order yet. To try the test. Yeah, it's a very interesting test. I like it. Anecdotally, I found that dosing EcoBalance has lowered nutrients, but the effect seems to be less than carbon dosing. Agreed. Scott, so that's interesting. And I think Devin's last interview with Eli from Aquabiomics is worth listening to. He said a couple of key things in there that people need to be paying attention to. A lot of the bacterial products that we buy that are sold to us die not long after they are introduced to the tank. They don't necessarily do maybe what we thought they did. There's a couple of different ways to test it. I'm sure Eli has tested all of those. He's just not going to talk about them because that could be detrimental to his business. I'm not in a... Mom, that's a truckla. This is what the hell's her name? Simone from YouTube took her Model 3 and chopped the back off it and turned it into a truck. But I'm not necessarily hindered by such constraints. So maybe I could do a little testing and see what we find out. It's something I've been wanting to do, and something I've talked about before. Right. Companies will mention proprietary, and that just means they won't tell you. Doesn't mean you can't go find out. And you can go find out. So, Scott, to that point, maybe carbon dosing absolutely will impact the. Actually, that's a decent option too, Callie. Something to think about. Bert, I've heard the same. I've seen the same. I need to see if I have the data, but I also know that I've got a spectrometer here that can read down to 350, so it's easy enough for me to test. Actually, I'll probably go pick up a metal halide. That was a 20K, and just test it myself. I just want to... that's one of those UV points that needs definitive data, and I just haven't seen the data yet. What am I bragging about? What'd I brag about? Oh, did I brag about the IOD? I want to be careful with it. Ready for 50 frags. You didn't say 50. You said 20. Isn't that what you said, Lynn? Did you say 20 frags? See, Zach, that's one of those things. I see. I just need to test it, because there's people who say that UV doesn't penetrate in a tank, and that's a bunch of BS too. There's the people who are using UNOs. Now that's 395 to 400, 395 to 405 nanometers. When I tested it was 401. There's people who are seeing sub 400 nanometers coming out of their UNOs, and that penetrates for reals. That UV channel absolutely gets down 16 inches in a tank. My GHL Metris, the UV penetrates 16 inches down into the tank. I mean, I got the data to support that. So there's a lot of people saying what they've been told, and nobody like sharing the data to prove it. And I need data, because otherwise it's just somebody's opinion. So, totally possible, but I don't think so. Or I think so. Kind of depends on the question, right? So Chris got a spider bite. You couldn't rub like a 3D printed urchin hat on it to make it feel better? Yeah, I just need to see. Saw some tests where little or no actual UV penetrated the water. They were made that way for safety. No, that's not the case, Bert, because that's UVA. You're going to start hurting yourself on low UVB and UVC, so UVA isn't going to hurt you. So I mean, if they're blocking C, makes perfect sense to me, not A. Happy New Year. Oh, did I say that earlier? Happy New Year. 50 frags. It better not be 50 frags. Holy crap. When do you think people will shift from PAR to DLI for coral lighting recommendations? They're not going to. Because they don't have to. You can absolutely set up a successful reef tank based on PAR. And it's easy to measure. What's a good alternative to Red Sea 350? I don't do tanks. I don't do any of that fancy stuff. I go to PetSmart or Petco or whatever, and I get one of those tanks. I don't have any fancy tanks. You suck, Lynn. Chris, you're a tripod. If you can quantify, well, qualify. If you could do whatever, Lucas, if you can justify better, then maybe I'll listen. But I don't think I need to. Not the listen part. I just don't think I need to. I don't need to care about it. If I run 250 PAR at the corals for 12 hours a day, and they're cool with it, then I'm cool with it. Rob, you want to throw Justin a budget Fuge light recommendation? Justin, I'll send you one. That's what I'm using right now over the Fuge. But there's a couple of decent ones out there that work just fine. Like a chip on board one. This This is that green. Oh shit! See, now my brain went dead. Oh, Lucas, really? We're gonna. Congratulations. Green tenuous. That tenuous is super happy, growing like crazy. I got that back from Chevy, and I'm really happy with it. Frag tank. Frag tank's a mess. It's a little crazy. Yeah, that ACKE, Justin. Take a look at that. This one was fun. And did I talk about this? Yeah, tenuous, there it is. What's the cheapest part of the setup? Do I dose iodine? I did dose iodine based on... You don't have to retract that, Kenny. I did dose iodine as part of the Red Sea Trace Colors. Be nice, Justin. But right now I'm not doing anything except for water changes, and they're not big water changes. And oh wait, what'd I miss? Gary, do you think buying a used tank is a good idea? Yes, I have a used tank. All my tanks, well, no, the 40 breeder is new, but my 45 cube is used, and the 93 gallon that sits on my patio, I should probably bring that in before it gets too cold, huh? Because I haven't set that up yet. That's also used. No, there's no reason. I mean, as long as the tank's fine and the seams are fine, do it. It's not too scratched up. They're all going to be scratched up, maybe. But worth taking a look. What's up, Hamada? So, yeah. So there, I think you got the iodine question. That was part of Red Sea Trace Colors, but right now I'm just doing water changes with HW Marine, and I'm doing calc dosing and whatever. I'm not dosing any traces. And I haven't done that I haven't done that all year, all 2021, because I turned that off once I started having a problem. But my ICP was good based on water changes, right? So I'm going to run another ICP. I'm not going to send it out. I got to figure out when to send it. I'm not going to send it in a snowstorm tomorrow, but I'll send it out this week because I want to. Rob keeps telling me it's what's up, Brandon? That it's raining copper in my tank, based on a couple of comments made by Bulk Reef Supply and others regarding pharma grade calcium hydroxide, and I'm using food grade, so you can include them on top of the Monties. Then I saw a Gaigu, one acro on top of another. I mean, I'll cut some frag racks back here if I need to. I'll be ready. Oh yeah, back to this. So I was an idiot, and the transfer pump. Was this it? Yeah. So I spiked the hell. Whatever. This is boring. But I moved water from my sump to my frag tank, and that stopped working because it got a big chunk of something in the tube. So all of my calcwater went into my display. And my pH hit 9.1. pH hit 9.1. My pH hit 9.1. My alkalinity I didn't even test because I was like, oh, shit, I'm going to kill everything. So all I did was clear everything and get it running again. And that was pretty interesting. I'm certain my alk went from like 7 to 10 and then right back down. I don't know. It worked out pretty well. They come with frag racks. Oh, good. That makes it easier. Isn't a little bit of copper okay or no copper? Yeah, a little bit of copper's fine. Some people dose copper, but you got to test. You got to do a ICP test. Display. It's growing pretty well. It's pretty happy. I don't like this little white line there. You see that little white line? Tenuous. Polyps. I like polyps. I don't have Bert polyps. Bert's got some hairy ass corals. pH hit 9.1 for those who didn't hear it. Yeah. Did you hear it? So, and I talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago where I said maybe alkalinity spikes don't kill corals. And, I mean, I don't think alkalinity spikes kill corals. I think an alkalinity spike, and talked about this a little bit, right, is indicative of something else. It's an indicator of something. And then your alkalinity may spike. Because I could spike the hell out of my alkalinity and my corals don't die. I don't know. This, I was sitting in my hot tub. I got this, so Amazon treasure truck, you know what that is? This inflatable hot tub showed up on the treasure truck a couple months ago, and I was like, damn, I got to have that. And then I went, they were sold out. I was like, what? And then they reposted it because they got some more. I was like, bye. I was in a meeting at work. I was like, bye. So I have this inflatable hot tub on my deck. It's a little white trashy, but I like it. My wine has a screw top. Makes it easy. Sitting in a hot tub, and this two big old shooting stars went by. Two big meteors went by. It was awesome. So I threw this up there because it was cool. One of them went all the way across the sky. I was like, what? It was cool. Something I noticed or was shared with me, I think, eCoral uses the same power bar as Hydros. Not a surprise. Oh, hey, shout out to the Reefing Report. So, Mr. Saltwater Tank and Terrence, formerly of Neptune, they get together on Sunday. Hell, they're probably streaming right now. I'm probably stepping on them. They stream every Sunday and record a show. They were talking about me, not last week, week before, I think. I don't know. There was a little bit of talking, and Terrence is like, I should shout them out. And I was like, okay, bro, I'll shout you out. It's interesting. There's a website that goes along with it. It's totally unoriginal. It looks like the Drudge Report. I'm like, come on, Terrence, do something real. Do something original. But it's an aggregator of like reefing news, so it's a one-stop shop kind of thing. Not like Reef Builders, not like Reefs.com. It's a little different with a little bit of. It's got some sassy attached to it, so I don't know. Are you Zach? Are you LOLing my white wine? I'm gonna kick you the hell out, boy. Don't LOL my white wine. I'll give you the boot. I won't. Lynn, don't boot him. All right, hold on. Reef and Sea Forever says their current pH. Oh, I got another shout out once I get done with puberty. Go check out Awesomely Average Artemis. Former coworker, Diana. She's cool. She's sassy. She just kicked off a gaming YouTube, and she needs some encouragement. She also has a Instagram, so Awesomely Average Artemis. There's some underscores in between those words, but you see what's up. There's food and then hair on Instagram. Go check it out. The bromance. I'm okay with those two guys getting together and talking. That's fine. They both know they know what's up. They've been in the industry. They may be able to provide some good info. Just like everybody else I listen to, just like people listening to me, there's always a small portion that I'll pay attention to. I think that portion for people who listen to me is substantially smaller, but I'm cool. Anything that gets good information out there, like legit information, like not bad information, not bad advice, I'm all for. I'd love a pH like that. Wait, let me look. 8.65. Bert, I would be really interested to see what your tank does at a substantially higher pH because your corals they're beautiful. My pH right now is 8.5 in the display. See, you got me beat. 8.65. I'll hit 8.6 during the day. The display will always hit 8.6. Yeah, because this is like 8 at night, right? I also jerked around with my sand a little bit. I removed some sand. What did it hit? It hit 8.63. That was my peak today. Yep. 8.6 crew. 8.65 is good. Screw top wine keeps the wine better than a cork. You know what? It makes it easier for me, too. I don't need the thingy and or whatever. What is this? Luna Nuda. Pinot Gris. I'm a PG kind of guy. I like the PG. Red wine gives me heartburn. I'm not down for that. Oh, wait. Let me read this because that sounds fun. Totally had an accidental spike at 22 DKH. All colonies were okay, and I responded immediately. pH didn't rise that much. Bicarb bleaching from a... Ooh. Seriously? Oh. Bicarb bleaching from a... That's interesting. How would you address that? What do? Pull the rock? Acid bathe it? What do? I stayed around 8.6 for almost a year one time. It was not even dosing calc at the time. That's fancy. How'd you get it up there? Was it all just photosynthesis? Would it drop at night? Tell the story. Pineapple wine. Ooh. Did you get non-hydro power strip? I always did. Yeah, Josh, the first power strip I had connected to my hydros was that one. Was the one that looks like the E-Coral one. It's like $30 on... it was 23. That's what I paid. The first one I bought was 23, and then they all sold out because other people got it. Yeah, it works just fine. I was wondering if it's compatible too. Yeah, that particular one, I mean, of course, in the US version, is compatible with the Hydros. .8 Pull the rock, 100% up. 8.4 and 8.7. I like that. See? I like that because my display will do that. I'll wake up to 8.4 and it'll hit whatever. That's cool. 8.6, 8.6 and a half. Sometimes 8.7. I get a little worried. But yeah, 9.1. So this is lame, I think. I guess I need to prove it to myself. This is the high octane. What the hell is high octane? What's that got to do with a light? This is a Reef Breeders version 2 sold on bulk resupply for $170 for a 24-inch bar. It is the AliExpress bar. 24-inch, 470 only, stock 470, will run you $45. It's like 43, but whatever. I say 45. From this picture, it looks like they have 1, 2, 3, 385 nanometer. Is that what they put in here? I don't know. They put like 3 UV diodes in here and a bunch of blues or whatever, but they got the lenses on there. I don't think that's going to work. I'm blown away by the price. Because you could buy this light for $60 from the manufacturer who makes these things, but at bulk resupply they're $170. I don't know. Jim, have you tried to see how close? I have not. I haven't. I have it, but I haven't played with it. What I did was I could get it close, but I couldn't get it close at all elevations. Does that make sense? Doesn't matter what diffuser I used, it just didn't work right for me. Large skimmer, clean tank, open doors and windows. High octane. This is Lynn's Pactinia. She's like, here, grow this. I'm like, okay. Peter, Reef Breeders, is buying off of AliExpress, Popular Grow, and rebranding it, period. Reef Breeders, their Photon V2 is a rebranded Evergrow. In Europe, it's called Evergrow. Those lights are rebranded. This is interesting. This is an Elegance. So this is not the Elegance that Moki gave me several years back. This is the baby that fell off the Elegance. I put the Elegance in the corner of my frag tank and just totally ignored it. And then one day I looked and there was 2. So somehow my Elegance made another Elegance and just started growing it. So that's the baby. And I pulled that out of the tank and gave it to Moki. And it looks pretty nice in his tank. Purple tip, it was beautiful. But, like, I made a baby Elegance in my tank. Possible snow around the area tomorrow. Lynn, I'm seeing 4 to 8 inches. School's already canceled in Moco. I can grow SPS again. Who knew? It came back. So we'll see. Right now. Right now or tomorrow? What's right now? Zach, are we talking about snow? That's tomorrow. My grandson said Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. Punk. Worldwide corals. Something. Like, I forgot it was sitting in there where it's been growing, and I looked, and that thing's gotten pretty big. I dig that. Mushroom. These are boring. I've got this little mollusk that's been living in my tank. I got this from... Hey, Lynn, are we buying Pacific East Aquaculture? By the way, Pacific East Aquaculture over on the eastern shore of Maryland is for sale. Who wants in? Anybody want dibs? We can go and have dogs and hang out and grow corals. And that'd be cool. Import stuff. I think Dr. Mac's still going to do that. This is a chalice. That's kind of cool looking. I'll occasionally download Instagram, like, the videos so I can watch them later. Because sometimes I'll start watching an Instagram video and then I'll have to, like, go back to work or do whatever I'm doing. And then I come back and the thing restarts. And then occasionally I download them. I like saving them because they go away sometimes. And I like watching them after I download them on this site because then I can pause them. Something to consider. There was an interesting comment about, whatever, I'll leave it alone. This is the 100th landing of an orbital class rocket from SpaceX, and I like rockets, and they're kind of cool. Justin, I agree it won't be the same without Dr. Mac, but he's not leaving the area, and he already has said that he will help whoever buys. There's no way. I mean, as long as you welcome that guy in your house, he'll absolutely continue to help. So it's not like he's going to wander off. That's the work tank, and I cleaned it. I can see through the glass, so the fish are still there. And I treat that tank badly. Actually, it's time to clean it again. Just did a pinpoint API pH test in a tank in a bedroom, 8.4, 8.5 with lights off. Bert, I think your tanks are feeding off your manliness. I think that's what's happening. It's like they're sitting there just. And now all the while they're watching and they're like, damn, look at that dude. Photosynthesis is occurring because you're so awesome. The corals are feeding off of that. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, dude. Oh, I make these little, these are Christmas gifts for my kids' teachers. I make these little, they're bookmarks made of veneer on one side, and on the other side is cardstock. And then my kid writes a personal note on the back. And they come out pretty sweet. I dig these. I steal those designs. That's 600 par. There it is. Yeah, but maybe it's the DLI, Bert. Maybe it's the DLI. $6. I'll match your $6, Lynn. This is Justin's Space Invader going home in that bucket. Oh, hey, I tested this light and it's kind of crappy. It's really freaking expensive. How much is this? 200. I don't know what I paid. Like 275 or 290 or 2. It sucks too, right? Because Devin had the Current USA guy on one of his streams, and I was like, come on. And I'm watching it, and they're like, yeah, but the stand's really nice. The mount's nice. The mount's nice. The mount's nice. I look at that Spectrum, and that Spectrum looks photoshopped. I'm like, what's up? So I bought it. That's a 52-watt light. I think it was kicking out 46 watts at Spectrum. It's really weak and really expensive. Ooh! Angel investor for $1. Shit, we're up to $13, people. Oh, yeah, hey. My my DIY aminos was perfectly clear, but when you opened it up, it smelled like ammonia, so I quit that. I stopped dosing that crap. I don't know what's up. I'll have to figure that out. These guys talking about pH. It's about damn time. All the pH people are like, it's about damn time, boys. 7.8. Come on. That's not cool. At a higher pH, I'll go out there and I'll say at a higher pH, your tank is less susceptible to getting its ass kicked. Touch of lime went the wrong way. I mean, that's not a bold statement. Current USA sucks. That's strong. Those are strong words. I can tell you that this light sucks. And because it's so expensive. If this light was $150 or $180, somewhere in there, it wouldn't suck anywhere near as bad as it sucks. But for like almost $300, this light sucks. Don't chase pH forever. See, now you're just poking me. That's not cool, Rob. That's not cool. Happy New Year. What's up, Skinner? Bought a Smat Farm. Yeah, that's a really... See, that's a good light for the money. What'd that thing cost you? $120? I asked Moki to get a hold of him because somebody made a comment that they didn't know how to spell smart. Like, it was a translation thing. And I was like, how you know? Did you ask him? I asked Moki to ask him. That way it doesn't get lost in translation. You know what I'm saying? What'd this say? 292.50 out the door. 52 watts. What did I say this was? Oh wait, I'll get to it. The price per dollar per watt is stupid high. The Spectrum kind of sucked too. I get to that. Yeah, don't do that DIY amino thing. Smells like ammonia, and that's not cool. Yeah, pH, shocker. I'm gonna make an algae scrubber. Rob's already playing with one, but that's why I bought these quick disconnects. I'm gonna go to Michael's craft store, find a container with those and some tubing. I'm gonna make an algae scrubber. Yep, $120 for that Smat Farm. Oh, I bought another Jabo. I heart Jabo. Watch this, because this dude is making replacement pucks for anything, most anything AI, and they're better than the OEM pucks. So follow this account. I'm impressed with the work dude B's doing. You pay for the mount. What do you mean I pay for the mount? You don't pay for when you bought, that $120? The Brother Skinner right there? That came with a mount. $120, Smat Farm, 95 watt light. I tested the 85 watt. I haven't tested the 95 yet. It comes with a mount. Oh, that's the ion director underneath that box of peanuts. See, there's some 8.66. There's some pH. I like it when my pH is higher than my alkalinity. See, that's also another thing. I'm not sure, like, What happens if I maintain an alkalinity from 8.4 to 8.6? And then I raise my alkalinity to 9. Like, will I see increased growth at that point? Or is lower alkalinity at a higher pH kind of the same thing? Like aperture and shutter speed in a camera, if you raise one, does the other lower? Or does it whatever? I don't know. What's the optimal alkalinity for elevated pH? That's what I want to know. I haven't played with that yet. There you go, Rob. I want to see your little box. Viper raised the Spectra of their lights $170. Do you think it's still... Yeah, I think so. I mean, we could talk about that in a minute. It's the same spectrum, almost identical to, like, if you use a spectrometer and shoot the spectrum, it looks like the sky. So if you think the sky spectrum is okay, then a Viper spectrum's okay. At $170, it's still a decent light for what you get, the amount of whoomp you get. It sucks that price is increased. Let's see. Only a couple people caught it. That's the ion D sitting right there. I really need to hook that up. I made this stupid video with Moki and Remy, and it was kind of funny. And then some fool got their pre-order ion director and slave doser kit and put it on Reef to Reef for $2,500. They got kicked. Well, that post got kicked. And now, last I saw, it was sitting... See, I don't know what that noise is. Last I saw, it was sitting over on eBay. Fool. Got another battery. 90 amp hour lithium iron phosphate. Connected it to the 80 something amp hour that's downstairs. So I've got them in parallel. So I have every year I add a little more battery or get a bigger battery, that kind of thing. See, DIY aminos, don't do that. Frag tank. I have to cut that stuff back. See those monis on the left? They have to be cut back. So if you're close to me and you want some monis, like Lengsai, whatever the hell that orange one is, and that green one that's kind of bright, let me know. Those are free. Oh, Packer game's on. What did I miss? SPS, Monty's. There was like 14, what'd I say? There's 14 different critters in this one narrow shot. All pretty happy. I dropped off my car for the last service while under warranty because my car's no longer under warranty. And there was a whole lot of people taking delivery that day. There was a whole lot. They're all out there. People were happy driving off brand new Teslas. Moki. This was Moki getting that elegance that I talked about earlier. 2 Pectinias. Man, that color's jacked. It's like I'm worldwide corals. This I talked about it earlier, but this is penetration of UV from Demetrius Alex 7206, 16 inches below the water level. The light's mounted 9 inches above, and I'm measuring UV there. So if anybody tells you that UV doesn't penetrate the water, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they are just regurgitating what somebody told them. And that person didn't know what they were talking about because it totally does. Gianzake, I'm in Maryland. And I also think more people should have spectrometers. I continue to think that because the data is super valuable. Yeah, Chris, I agree. This thing's $650. Oh, you know what this post was about? This is interesting. There's this. Well, first, get a spectrometer. If you got the money and you want to know what the light is doing and you want to split it amongst your friends or whatever, the spectrometer works really well. And it reads from like 350 up to 700 and something. Gives you a really good understanding what your light's doing. The more people who have spectrometers, the less dependent upon other people's data you are. And it's been incredibly valuable for me to be able to measure lights and see what I got going on. I will show this because Chris's comment got hidden. Wait. There it is. Lynn beat me to it. I keep seeing comments about how the prices of stuff keeps increasing, about how container ships are so expensive, and that's why the prices continue to increase, right? 6% for XR30s, which are, I mean, some of this stuff comes from China, but a lot of it's made in the U.S. It's certainly, the boards are, I wonder if the diodes are. I don't know that I saw that. But the circuit cards are made here. See, I mean, this spectrometer I paid $650 in September of 2020. It's still the same price. And then the Ali bars that I first bought at the very beginning of 2020, that's what I paid, $42.45. So, like, why are prices really going up? That's what I want to know. I run crystals and keep alk at 12. pH never drops below 8.2. My growth has been in girth more than height. Tuna can? That's interesting. So what's so you're running high par? I have to guess, Scotty? Who's dropping? Later, Justin. Higher alk keeps your pH high if it's already high. Not with slurry. Your tank doesn't like over 9 DKH, but that's probably interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. Higher light, right? What's your nitrates? Rob, it doesn't need to get wet. You can measure from underneath. Right, if you wanted to know that glass box voodoo, which you don't need to know with a spectrometer, really. I mean, there's minor changes. Maybe. They're very, very minor. But you could just get a 10-gallon or a 40 breeder, or, I mean, that's too big, right? Or a 15 tall. 15 tall would be ideal. Small tank, cheap. And shoot through the bottom glass with the spectrometer, and then you'd know. Doesn't need to get wet. Lynn, that's why there are people like me, right? You grow awesome corals, and you're really, really good at it. And you're quiet about it. And you're super generous. And then I'm the nerd with the spectrometer if you want to know stuff. That seems fair. I know what Sanjay said. What Sanjay said, and that's not what he said. What Sanjay said is that, or Sanjay, sorry. What Sanjay said is that he needs more data. He didn't say you don't need UV. He said, his words were, and correct me if I'm wrong, verbatim, data. So, he didn't say you didn't need UV. He said he wants to see the data. He said, paraphrasing, people are spawning without UV. Absolutely. The point of UV is not necessarily the impact of the corals, because I know that UV will change the color of corals. It's not necessarily a coral health thing beyond what is it doing to the bacterial colonies in the tank. So, I mean, people are putting a lot of emphasis on UV and coral health. It's not necessarily the coral tissue of zooxanthellae itself. It could very easily be something related to the bacteria. So, that's not what Sanjay said, but I understand what you're getting at. scrolling. Wait, let me get back to this. Yeah, so hey, why are prices going up? I don't know. I already took that picture. Here's that light. Did I post a spectrum? No. Oh, yeah, that's coming. Coral's fixing to do some battle. Cage Director still in stock. Oh, I hear CoralView got Alkatronics in. Alkatronics is a good device. But when you can't get it, the Cage D is less expensive. The Alkatronic will give you pH, and that's nice. Cage D doesn't. But the Cage D works just fine. And you don't need a controller. Reef to see forever. Yeah, but if I buy something from China, like a custom AliExpress, maybe it doesn't come over on a boat. Maybe they're air freighting. But if I buy a custom Ali E-bar, it shows up in 3 weeks. Price of reefing doesn't need to go up 20%. I don't think that's accurate. Like, I'm not picking on you, but seriously, that statement's inaccurate too. Because it doesn't have to. That's this. So it has some 450, and it has some 440, and it has that weird spike at 405. And this spectrum is not on their website, which I found super weird. But a similar spectrum that I showed earlier is on their Amazon listing. This light is like a bad AI prime. That's what I would say about the spectrum. It's an incomplete spectrum AI prime. So I'm gonna put it over the grid, and I'll measure spread. I'll measure flicker. Actually, flicker was pretty fast. So flicker on this thing may not be an issue. That dynamic spectrum thing that BRS wants us to believe, that's not accurate. But I'll test this one over the grid, and I'll share the data. It's just really expensive for what it is. It doesn't need to be that expensive. Boy, these chips are good. What do I want to look up here? I want to look up... I can't remember what I want to call this. Oh, my internet's acting funky. UV changes my color. It makes me darker. See? Bert has data. Nitration between 5 and 10. Okay. So, you know you don't need that Neo Nitro, right? I'm sure you do. I don't have a power meter running 3. You need to measure that bar. Yeah, so almost $300 for that spectrum. Negative. Oh, this right here. This is the beginning of the end. This is my Reef Keeper turning off. My Reef Keeper flaked and turned everything. I didn't have a heater, just plugged in with a Inkbird to a regular outlet, so I didn't have a backup heater. Dumb. So yeah, my Reef Keeper turned off. It errored out for some reason. I had to restart it. And it came back and it was fine. This is the beginning of the end of the Reef Keeper. So now I'm going to get a collection of goodies from GHL. So I could just I can convert all the way over to GHL. Because I got the power bar. I got a spare power bar out in the garage, and I'll use that. I got some booze. I've been on call all week and through the weekend. So there was no drinking for me. Those two are still unopened. Did you watch Don't Look Up? Because that's hilarious. I'm not a big Jennifer Lawrence fan, But she's funny in this movie, and I loved it. This is a good movie. I liked it. Shrooms. Mighty Nanotank did this to me. I blame him. This is 6 a.m., and I've got pH of 8.5. What? Got some. Used it today, actually. Used it over the weekend. It still works. It's still cheap. Oh, hey, the CJ Ultra Zero went up $10. Did you notice? So now it's $110, and this pump beats it. It's got more pump. It doesn't suck the water all the way down. You could probably figure that out. Is that chewing really loud? Somebody asked about the parts inside the Kedsum. This is ceramic. Wait, over here. That's ceramic. That's plastic. And that's a magnet. And they all look pretty clean. I've been using this thing since April. There's nothing wrong with this pump. If you need a little cheap utility pump, this thing's the jam. And that's today. And what's this stupid pop-up on the bulk resupply website? Stop it. Pop-ups are old. They're still not cool. Don't do it. I'm logged in. Why does your website know that I'm, or not know that I'm logged in? Don't give me a pop-up when I'm logged in. Lamers. God. Okay, real quick. Wait. There it is. SB Reef Light makes a replacement. This is it. This is not it. This is the Viper Spectra. This is the stock diode board, right? This is basically what the Sky gives you. Like, the spectrum's almost identical. It's crazy. This is the stock Viper Spectra board. This is the new and improved. And if you look at the SB Reef Light's webpage, they say it's awesome, and it's not. Which sucks. This thing's $60. Thomas Trent sent this to me. I got to catch up. But, and I probably said the last name wrong, and I apologize. But the spectrum that you're looking at right there, how can I do this? Can I turn this one on? I could do that. So the spectrum that you're looking at right there is the Viper Spectra, 100% blue, 30% white. That was bulk resupply recommendation. That is the SB Reef Lights, 100% blue, 30% white. It's a significant difference. I don't think I screwed this up. I'll check my data. But that's not cool. I'm not impressed. So nope. What I was hoping is that this board would make it easy for everybody. That they could just go buy this SB for $60, throw it in their Viper Spectra, and poof, they got a really nice spectrum. Nope. So we're back to modifying this, swapping out some diodes, and I need to do a little work. So what I'm going to do is that heatsink is held on by screws. I'm going to remove that heatsink, stick this thing in the oven after I desolder these wires, and then start plucking the diodes off and replacing with new that I want. They're soldered on there in 3 different places. The diode body itself and the 2 terminals are soldered. So it's just easier to take all the plastic crap off of this. I wonder if I can. Oh yeah, I can. Take all the plastic crap off this board, stick it in the oven at 320 for about 5 minutes. Diodes will melt up just nice. And you just pull them off. Put flux on the bottom of the new diode and just place them. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make really, the modification should be like $20. So that'd be cool. What'd I miss? There's a whole bunch of people. Lynn was talking about what the? And the master. Yeah, how you like that Mastertronic, Lynn? I saw somebody talking about, it didn't even come from Moki. It came from somebody else talking about Moki's experience with the Mastertronic, which I thought was a little douchey. It should come from Moki. Catching up. Damn, y'all been chatty. Let's see. Boats. Reefing went up 20%. No, it didn't. Miami screwed up their port. That's what I take from that. You don't have to participate in the 20%. That's right. Nitrates between 5 to 10. Y'all getting hungry. It's dinner time in California. I already talked about that. A whole bunch of T5s. UV changes Bert's color. There's no proof you need them. There's no proof I need what? See, that's what sucks about time delay and me going on without talking. There's no proof. Correct. Oh, UV. Correct. There's no proof you need them. There's no proof you don't. We also thought that we needed ultra low nutrient tanks there for a while too. You know what I'm saying? So the hobby's forever evolving. Maybe we do need them. We just don't know yet. I vote we do. Oh, yeah, we need to stop saying real UV, too. We need to say UV, and we need to say violet. Like Ecotech should say violet, because that's what's on there. I heard UV and light inhibits dino, cyano, baddies. Maybe. Something about, yeah. So this is some chatter that's been going on. So it started with, how did it start? It started with, oh hell, the dude this, see, now I can't remember. Old guy, got a tank. He's having some problems. Talked about how back in the halide days we didn't have all the problems we have now. And then it went on to, and who was hosting that? Was it Keith? Then it went on to Chris Meckley talking about it a little bit, about how maybe UV under halides without any data is better for your corals. But it doesn't matter because halides are going away. So just deal with it. So we got to figure that out, right? But Gianzek, there's no evidence yet, right? That's part of the thing that we're talking about here. There's just no data. And it's going to, I think part of that data is going to come from aquabiomics, because if you tell them what light you're using, and then they can find one of those ideal tanks with the right balance of bacteria, like premium balance, then you can go, oh. It's all going to come from the community as far as I'm concerned, because there's just not enough data sampling that can be done. But the more of us who send in a test and share your tank setup, maybe that data could eventually turn into something. We could find some sort of correlation in there that makes sense. On another note, I've started EcoBalance on a daily. Are you getting a lot of clogged socks or filters? I don't run any filtration. I wonder what the clogged crap is. So yeah, I need to use socks. I don't. My tank is nasty. I run barefoot. Zero mechanical filtration in my tank. So I should eat chips more often. For the UV, the microorganisms take a lot of UV to kill. It doesn't necessarily take a lot. So I read a couple studies, a really good study that talked about UVA, because my opinion was that UVA isn't going to be detrimental to bacteria, and that was wrong. I was way wrong. And I found a cool study that talked about, actually it was more the spectrum, what spectrum they were using to kill bacteria. It shared over time. They didn't share intensity, but it did kill a bunch of UVA did kill at like 365-ish, did kill bacteria. It's not necessarily it may not necessarily be the intensity of the UV that's required. It could also be the time. there's just a lot of questions, right? So, I mean, there's people forming opinions. I'm not going to, beyond that, I'm comfortable using UV over a reef tank, and that I think at some level UV matters. To me, it's mainly coloration, because I can grow a coral under a Radion XR30 Gen 4, and I can grow that same coral under my Metris LX7s, and the color's completely different, because I could take the Metris coral and stick it in the tank right next to the Radion coral, and the coloration is different. I prefer the Metris colored corals, but whatever. I mean, the Radion corals, they're pretty too. So I know there's a difference in correlation or color. What's up, Mogi? And I think, all right, Bert said it, right? His color changes under UV, so do the corals. I think that kind of matters. Like a lot lab grade amounts, we use shortwave UV to disinfect our laminar. Just so you're using UV in a hood, and you're using fluorescent tubes to do so. I use vaporous hydrogen peroxide. I don't use any UV at work. But if you're going to run, I've seen goggles disinfected under UV, right? It's a lab thing. It's a hospital thing. It's not necessarily a lot. It may not be a lot. And there may be a threshold, right, where intensity really matters, but it may be time underneath UVA as well. Right, if we're talking UVC, which none of us would have on our tank anyway, because we'd all be blind. Right, we'd all have our DNA altered and our eyeballs wouldn't work well anymore. That's one thing. There's no UV sterilizers that have LED UVs. Yeah, I think everybody knows that, right? And so what's the wavelength of a UV sterilizer? I was off call for Christmas, New Year's, usually. Yeah. I'm on call right now, but I like to give my crew a little bit of time off that phone that I don't have with me. Shocker. If it rang, somebody'd come and get me. Yeah, Moki, are we gonna buy? Wait, I'm just catching up. Hey, Moki, don't avoid the question. Oh, there it is. He'd be interested. I think we could get enough money from all these nerds that we have around here to go buy Pacific East. I think that'd be fun. Then we could take turns, a rotation, working on it, right? What's my take? Wait, I missed it. It scrolled past. I'm going to ask Moki and Lynn for their take on the Mastertronic, because I don't have one, but they both do. What's the pump I said that's better? It's the Kedsum. It's 1,000 something. Kedsum on Amazon. Check my Instagram. I just posted about it. What you mean you got $13, Lynn? I thought this was a we thing. Robert Kedsum. Any other way besides an oven? Yeah, you could use a heat gun, but heat from the bottom. But an oven makes it easy, because then you just pluck, and you're done. That way you don't have to hold the heat gun underneath and wait. Plus, you need to have a way of... Whatever. It's stupid. You could prop it up on books and have the heat gun underneath it, and you could do that too, but oven makes it easy. We're up to $26. Yeah, hey, Gary, I talked about it. Did Terrence mention me today, or it was a previous episode? I think he was trying to define whether I have history with him or he has history with me. And I found that distinction to be interesting and a little finger pointing, but neither one of us have history with each other. I just heard that noise again in my headset, and I have no idea what it is. Yeah, Mike Paletta. Thank you. That was it. It was Paletta. It did start with Paletta. And I think it was Paletta. So what I think Paletta should do is when he's fixing to throw that out there, because a whole lot of people are going to, right, they're going to Reef Jesus that guy, and they're going to go, oh, Mike Paletta. And then a whole bunch of people are going to go buy freaking metal halide bulbs. I think a responsible Mike Paletta would go poop some data, go measure some metal halides to understand the UV output of those bulbs as low as he can go. Like I said, I go 350. That's what I think should happen. It's an interesting idea to throw out there. Wait, Bert, is UV how they get the hint of lime in the Tostitos? Help me out, brother. Is that how it works? But yeah, I think Mike and then and then it was Mike Paletta first, and then Chris at ACI started talking about it too. He was talking about it with Tulio at Reef. I want to know what instruments they use. I want to see the data that Chris was talking about in his chat with Keith Reef Bum. I want to see that data because there was a whole lot of voodoo being talked about during that stream, and it would just be really interesting to see the data, see if the data actually supports the opinion. Yeah, of course, people are going to pick up halides. It's short-lived. They're going to go away. Reef diapers. What? Disposable filter socks. I did see those. ACI is less dust with metal halides than his hammer. That's also an incorrect statement. That's not what he said. See, that's what people hear. People hear interesting things when people like Chris or whatever. That's not what was said. What was also said is that those lights were over different systems. Data. That's why data is important, right? Because somebody's going to throw up some... We're going to have us a bad advice episode about UV. Chris Meckley at ACI said torches and shit grown under metal halide they're better. Are they? Prove it. Let me see the data. Other than that, it's some dude named Chris. Because at the end of the day, he's just some dude named Chris. Like Chris said a lot of interesting things about slurry that aren't accurate. Mastertronic, Stuff Photron, debug, blah, blah, blah. Lynn, are you still using yours? What's up, Carlos? Hold on, I missed some stuff. 253 nanometers. Don't look at that. Make sure you squint your eyes. Make sure you put some reefing glasses on. It's weird when I scroll sometimes in chat, it just goes blasting by. And then I miss a whole lot. Inappropriate reader heard a lot of people. I wonder if it's a lot of people. Our culture. Yeah. Yeah, so I hear you, Scott. We got a micro lab. I think we do it a little differently. It also depends on what we're playing with, I suppose. Then there's that other stuff that you got to use to decon, like BSEs before you take them out of the lab. What's that stuff called? Something, it's chlorine-based, I think. It's sketchy. Well, for me, because I'm not going to do it. I got to pay somebody, have Steris come in and do it or something. I have a UV light in my sump that is not shielded on a timer. What's the nanometers? Outside of ALK, I can only think of 2 tests I even want to bother automating. Are they ones? Yeah, UV sterilized UVC. Don't look at those. That's not cool. We can't use those. We shouldn't use those in reef tanks, right? UV sterilizers are C, and that's fluorescent, right? He's in the chat. Ask your question about the Lux engine. Scrolling. Bulkhead. Boathouse. The attack people guy. I don't know what that is. Waterfront boat. The noise in your headset is me chewing Tostitos. Reef Jesus. No, for reals. That's what happens, right? Somebody says something, and all of a sudden people are going out and buying stuff. What? This is for reals because somebody said it. Reef Jesus said so. Thank you, Moki. You know you shouldn't, but thank you. I'm sorry, Bert. I should have brought you chips. ACI guy is hard to listen to. I like listening to Chris because somewhere in that guy's head is a whole lot of truth, and you just got to tease it out. He's an interesting dude. I hope to meet him one day. I'd like to go down and see his farm. That's what I'd like to do. Tropic Marin, Gary, that's like talking about somebody's mama. You can't talk about Tropic Marin salt. Tropic Marin salt is just crushing margins for bulk reef supply. That's why. They're making a ton of money off that stuff. And everybody's like, damn, it's the best because Reef Jesus said so. Bert says he likes sunbathing at night on the roof naked with 100 nanometer. That's why, dude, when you go back in, your pH is so high. As previously discussed, the photosynthesis is off the hinges. I wouldn't get UVC. I wouldn't get anywhere near UVC. That's like staring at this 40-watt laser back here, the CO2 laser, without my glasses on. I'm just not going to do it. Can we start a thread of bad advice? Or just like people following, like doing exactly what other people said to do without any data, and we could just hashtag it Reef Jesus? UVC pen light. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't play with UVC, people. That's bad. What do you think about the new Wi-Fi Jabo pumps? Why do we need Wi-Fi? That's what I think about Wi-Fi Jabo pumps. Why do we need our Jabo pumps to be Wi-Fi? Like for reals. Why do we need Wi-Fi return pumps? And why do we need Wi-Fi power heads? Yeah, it's the MLWs. The purple ones, right? I just don't know why people want Wi-Fi devices when they don't need Wi-Fi devices. I'd rather have I actually don't know why I would do it with like the Sky. right? The sky's got Bluetooth, and that makes perfect sense to me. I don't need Wi-Fi. You know what I need? I need a Wi-Fi doser. Ecotech, give me a Wi-Fi doser, because you don't give me one. I want a doser I can control when I'm not at home, because that matters to me. And I would just want to be able to dial in and see what my parameters are. I don't need a power head that's on Wi-Fi. That's why I like the SLWs. I don't know. What's the price of, whatever, Reef Lemmings? I don't want to say Reef Lemmings. I'd rather say... the other one's blasphemous, but whatever. It's funny. It can be funny. Yeah, I just don't get the need. God damn, this salsa's good. I don't get the need for... I hope that doesn't demonetize this stream. Whoops. Should I do... And actually, I think Luca and I are going to talk about this at some point. But let me do a search real quick. I should do a paid partnership with Harris Teeter. The way some people use paid partnerships is just stupid. I should do a paid partnership with Harris Teeter for their salsa and Tostitos hint of lime. Somebody screen grab this. Mm-hmm. I hate Wi-Fi gear. Comore Pump doesn't connect to my 5. Nope. You need 2.4 for that business. Got a mesh Wi-Fi, so I can't switch it to 2.4. That's why I got an Eero, because the Eero is mesh. It's 5 and 2.4, and you can pause the 5 gig to connect your 2.4 devices, and then they work correctly. But for reals, why do you need Wi-Fi? People don't need Wi-Fi. Oh, look, it's Wi-Fi, so I'm going to charge you $50 more. No, jerks. Give me the ones with the buttons. I only want Wi-Fi gear that should be Wi-Fi. Hold on, let me look. I can pull this up. This is what live lets us do. I should be sitting in my inflatable hot tub. What'd you just post? Just posted a few pics and quick spectrum shot. I just checked your Instagram and I'll see it there. Did you get the website up? I like the controller on the new SLW Wi-Fi. Is it an MLW? Is that what they call it? Why do you like the controller, Bert? You played with it? You have one? Or you just like the way it looks? Yeah, so I got to finish up this R24. Hey, Lynn, why does Current USA suck? Why'd you say that? What's up, Gone Fishing? How's summer? Oh, on Hubblefish. Okay. I like that forum. That's my favorite forum. I'm not big on forums, but if I got to pick between Reef to Reef and Humblefish, all day long, Humblefish. Oh, this is an ongoing thread. Wait, let me get to the end. You talking about this one? Bloody hot. Are you talking about this one? Tell me if I'm wrong. There's that noise again. I gotta figure that out because it's annoying the shit out of me. This thing right here. This is an older one. This is what you showed me, right? That's a super fat AI Hydra 26, right? Is that what that is? Got both on the bedroom tank. I need to go to Australia. They should update those MP40 pumps. I got two MP10s. One broke once. Not the controller, but the little ceramic shaft thingy broke. Yeah, so hey, take a look at the spectrum. This is legit. This is a replacement puck on an AI. And correct me if I'm wrong, please. This is a replacement puck on an AI Hydra 26. And that is super fat with a pH. What's that peak? Is that peak 410? That first peak? It looks like it. 415? What are we replying to, Lynn? I used the bar once. What are you talking about? Yeah, 26 HD. How about that? That's a pretty sweet spectrum. I need to overlay that on a couple of different lights. See, now I got to go find a 26. So I could buy a couple pucks and then do some testing. I really want to do send me a 26 with those pucks. I'll happily test that. And I'm going to do it dry. 415. You got 415, 420, 430, 450, 470. No, it's not 470. That's something higher. 485. I'm going to sit here and watch this chat happen because this is fun. What I do really appreciate is when people make something better. In this particular case, AI lights. Luxtium is going to make these lights better for people, especially those with like burnt out pucks or jacked up whatevers and want better spectrum and better cooling. When I talked earlier about better heatsink material, this is exactly what I was talking about. It is super thick. All right. What time is it? 9 o'clock? Yeah, it's time. If y'all can, plus my salsa's gone. Bert, I'm out of salsa, brother. If y'all could get together and talk about this 26. Elsewhere, over on Humblefish or Instagram, that would be cool. Looking forward to seeing these coming out. What else? Anything I should talk about? Anything we need to talk about? What should I ask? I've got this weird, and I have had it for over a year, this weird filamentous green sort of slime algae. And I don't know where the hell it's coming from, other than, like I said earlier, I don't run filter socks and my tank is totally gross and I need to clean out everything. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to ditch the 5.5 Fuge because it's not growing Chaeto anymore anyway. Chaeto. I think I'm going to ditch that. I might make an algae scrubber. Maybe. I'm not sure I need it. And I might just make it just to see if I can, and for how much money. Spinach feta dip. That sounds good. I still have chips. I I would love to know what the hell that green crap is. I'd also like to know why I don't have any nitrifying bacteria in my tank. That was super interesting too. And that was from my last aquabiomics test. No nitrifying bacteria and a relatively small population. So I've been dosing EcoBalance. I'm still going to dose that until I've learned why I shouldn't, but so far I like it. I don't know why. It just makes me feel good. I'm dosing this stuff into little glass vial thingies. And I'm dosing... ATM Colony, which is supposed to be nitrifying. So I'm dosing all three of those. The little glass vial thingy is every weekend, and ATM Colony is every weekend, and EcoBalance is every day. So it might be time to do another aquabiomics test. Calc slurry not being sustainable. What's wrong with slurry? Nothing's wrong with slurry. My slurry's been working. Did I make any New Year's resolutions? No, I don't do that. I'd like to stop being a fat bastard. I think that would be cool. Right, there was a time, and I've talked about it, there was a time when I could go run 10, 15 miles like any day without trying. There was a time when I could do a full Ironman, and that was 7 years ago, something like that. Yeah, it was 2013, so 8 years ago. It was November. I'd like to get off my ass. My job, I got an office job, and it sucks. And I'd like to move around a little more. But no New Year's resolutions. That's kind of not my... Yeah, Biodigest. That's kind of not my thing. Oh, yeah. Rob. Go check out Rob's video. Rob, can I link that here? I know you sent it to me. Rob. I appreciate y'all hanging out while I fumble through and do some Googling and stuff. Message. Because I'll just grab the link. Rob he's done two super cool things that I'm aware of, and probably way more. He made this really cool... I thought you DM'd it to me. What is ATM Colony? ATM is acrylic tank manufacturer, so I want to see what's inside that bottle, and I'm probably going to find out. ATM Colony is something that was recommended by Elegant Corals and Reef dudes as part of a dino reversal process. I mean, for all I know, it's water in that bottle. I have no idea. One day I'll find out. Hey, Rob, DM me your YouTube link real quick, and I'll drop it in chat. Or I'll drop it in, this chat. I just put out, So that's the video I'm talking about. Rob and his cool slurry device mixes it up. ATM Colony is also pretty good stuff. Carlos, I really want to know what's in it. I want to know what's in that. I want to know what's in Microbacter 7. And I want to know what's in Vibrant. And maybe even EcoBalance. If they all turn out to be the same thing, I'm going to be pissed. I can't speak to Microbacter 7. I'm not using any Brightwell products. Personal choice. I don't know what's in it. That's one of the challenges with dosing bacteria, right? Go listen to that stream that Devin did with the aquabiomics dude, Eli. Every time I listen to him, I pick out a little bit more than I need to be paying attention to. Later, Bert. Thanks. I'm just... I don't know what's in them. And until I figure out what's in them, I started dosing EcoBalance on Carlos's recommendation coming out of the evil that was early 2020, and it's gone forever. I want to know what's in these products. So once I find out, I've seen the chemical makeup or the bacterial makeup of 2 products already, and I want to see what's in several others. So I think that's where I'll go. And it's also very possible that it's the same bacterial strain they use in water treatment facilities. It's totally possible. I have no idea. Bloody dinos are a pain in the butt. Dosing phosphates daily because they're 0 every second day. Huh? Vibrant, I stay away from. Yeah, it killed SPS in my tank. Yeah, I agree. Scott, I agree. That's why I want to test them. Or have them tested. Florida Keys mud and sand. That sounds fun. Yeah, Algae Warrior. See, that's another one where I suck. I have a skimmer, and it's a tiny little skimmer, and it just overflows. I don't. It's always overflowing, like always. I don't do anything with it. So one day I'll run a clean tank, and then I won't know what to do. Microlift special blend bacteria on Amazon smells a lot like Fritz Turbo Start, but a lot stronger. Microbe Lift. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It could all be voodoo. It could all be snake oil, or there's truth and to some or all of it. I have no idea. I just don't have any data. Well, I do have 2 pieces of data, but other than that, I have no data. Struggling to keep phosphates up. That's a better problem than having too high of phosphates, right? All right, I'm going to jump. First, R24, not impressed. Viper Spectra, just like the Sky, almost. It's very, very similar. And then the SB Reef Lights replacement board, not impressed. That sucks. I kind of wanted to be impressed. This one, the R24, I didn't expect much. There was another one that somebody wanted me to buy. If I send back the R24, I'll get it. I can't remember what it was. For dinos, I use temp reefroids, manual removal method. Yeah, Dr. Tim's dino method worked pretty well for me, too. I tried it seemed like I had more. See, it's all just voodoo. I have no idea, right? It seemed like I had a lasting impact with Dr. Tim's over the ATM colony thing, which also used a little bit of Dr. Tim product stuff. So I don't know. Scott, what I need is a tank this happy. That's all I need. All right, y'all. I'm done. Have a good night. Hope you didn't mind my chips. Hope I didn't make you too hungry. It's good to be back on here. And thanks for hanging out. There's a bunch of super. Scott, you go sequence. I'll send you juice and you sequence, and we'll hook up. That's what I want to do. I could do it. I mean, I could send it off to Charles River. Whoever the hell around here will sequence, because I already have Microbacter 7 and Vibrant plated and grown out. So the DNA is sitting there on a plate. That's what I should do. Have a good Monday. I hope 22 is better than 21 for you. Oh, and stay safe and stay healthy, because the world's still stupid. It sucks. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Y'all are awesome. Maybe I'll catch you next week. I'm going to try to have some content, right? Other than, hey, I tested this light and it sucked. Hey, I tested this light and it sucked. Hey, this is expensive. Shocker. It all seems kind of redundant, right? We'll try to find some better things. Always open to suggestions. Always open to, if you want to jump in here. I see a lot of the same people making the same circuits, right? Same people talking to different people. And I was like, I would like to talk to people who are totally successful, like Carlos, Bert, Moki, all of y'all in here, Rob. It would be, but even plating, you might not isolate all the strains, the type of art. Yeah, totally. So we did plate them on, what's the bloody one? We plated them on 2 different types. Agreed. There's that sound in my ear again. That's all I got. Happy reefing, y'all. Be kind. Thanks. Moki, thank you. Be kind, y'all. I already said that. Wait, let me figure out how to turn this off. Bye. For those of you in Maryland, Virginia, and Pennsylvania, be safe tomorrow. Okay, bye. Everybody else, y'all know how to drive in snow.